I went into Digimon Storytime Stranger knowing very little about Digimon, but by simply playing the game and eventually going for the Platinum, I became a Digimon fan. But that didn't happen without a good amount of pain, as the Platinum requires you not only to do a bunch of side activities like finding all collectibles, completing all dungeons, and acquiring some rare Digimon, you then gotta replay the whole game again on the hardest difficulty, where you can't even use any items during combat, and even the little baby Digimon hit like an absolute truck. But just like most games, things start pretty easy. First, you choose which character you want to play as. I went with a girl because she asked nicely.
Please?
We're playing as detectives that investigate Digimon-related anomalies, and a big anomaly is about to drop on us. And so we sneak into the restricted area, and on the other side of that wall, we're able to choose our first Digimon and have our very first battle, unlocking
my very first battle trophy. Nice, defeat an enemy for the first time.
Not all Digimon are small and cute though. Here in this tunnel, we have to run away from this giant T-Rex before we're saved by Girl to be protected. Your parents are not very good at naming babies. We end up having to fight it anyways, and things were not looking good. We're clearly outmatched here, so it's a good thing that we get rescued by a Gundam, I'm gonna guess? And that unlocks
signs of an anomaly. Witness signs of an anomaly. I did do that. I witnessed those signs.
I'm slowly learning there are all kinds of different looking Digimon at the same time as I'm learning more about the game, because it was at this point that it taught me about conversion. By defeating wild Digimon, you download their data, and once you have enough of it, you can convert that data into your own Digimon. If you wait until you have 200% of the needed data, you get a stronger Digimon, as well as
the secrets of conversion. Convert the Digimon with a scan rate of 200%. He's got bubbles.
And if you meet the stat requirements, you can then evolve those same Digimons, and the first time you do it, you get
initial Digivolution. Digivolve a Digimon for the first time. I got Agumon. I got the main character. We're done.
The final boss of this tutorial area is this giant beetle called Kuwagamon, and I realized my team is actually super weak against him. But that's when I discovered my Dracomon had something called character reversal, which completely reversed my enemy's weaknesses, and suddenly my weak team was a direct counter to this boss.
So he was strong against data and resisted air. Now he's weak to air and is weak to data. This is gonna do 300%. This is fucking genius. My brain is expanding, bro!
This was the moment I knew I was gonna platinum this game. We beat the boss, but that only makes things weirder. A shadowy figure shows up, then a giant robot, then a hand opens up a hole in the sky and punches the giant robot. I don't know what's going on, but all of that has caused the apocalypse. Everyone died, the end. Just kidding, we are now playing Kingdom Hearts. In this odd place, some Digimon mistake you for an egg thief, and that's when you spot the shadowy figure actually stealing the egg.
Stop it! That egg is very important!
I don't know what's going on.
Stop that thing!
No. Give me a little more time to think.
No, hurry! The egg!
I don't know what's going on.
Stop that thing!
Give me a little more time to think.
No, hurry! The egg!
Alright.
Anyway, we're clumsy, the egg drops to the floor, and we wake up in the real world again, minus the apocalypse. We meet some new characters, including this streamer who likes going in the sewers a lot, and we run into the Girl to be protected again. Turns out, that wasn't her real name, she's actually called Inori. But here comes the big twist.
Did I jump back in time? Is that what the egg did? The game is called Time Stranger. I get it now. I get it. The Time Stranger. Roll credits. Travel through time into the past.
Sounds like we have our mission. Stop the apocalypse. But we got 80 years to do it, so surely we can do some shopping beforehand. We start looking for rumors or a place to start investigating when we find a door that appears out of nowhere. We decide to go in, and can anyone else hear Aria of the Soul, or is it just me? We talk to the receptionist and we get,
welcome to the In-Between Theater. This is straight up the Velvet Room. This is
inside the Velvet Room, we can set our Digimon to train in the Digifarm so they can passively level up. There's a trophy for doing this 30 times, so we set them up and move on to our next mission. The streamer needs some content. Girl, same. So obviously we go into the sewers where the content is. We find a scared Digimon and it gets attacked, so naturally we protect it. But things are looking grim. Luckily, the scared Digimon likes Inori, and so in the heat of battle, it digivolves.
This is the most epic Digivolution I've ever seen. Holy, no, that's a dude. That's not a Digimon. Oh my god. That's not a Digimon. That's just a dude.
Yep, I learned a lot about Digimon by playing this game. After that shocking revelation, I decided to do some side activities. There was a quest about some stolen shirts, and that made me curious to see what shirts they had for sale in this game. And as soon as I bought a t-shirt, I got
an agent's proclivities. Collect 10 or more costumes.
Turns out I had some costumes already unlocked with this version of the game. Another side activity is this card game. The stupidest card game in the history of card games, where they tell you how to play it and then none of it matters. It's all RNG who wins or loses. I got beaten by a little kid, but on my second try,
hey, card battle debut! We got our first win, baby. You're pretty good for a total noob. Slap that boy. Slap him right now.
But enough distractions, back to the main story. A giant T-Rex falls out of the sky. Yep, this game is pretty wild. And also the Digimon girl who called us an egg thief. Her name is Minervamon, by the way. She's an important story character. And so we battle together against this evil Digimon. And after winning the battle, we get
a visitor from the digital world. That's a story. Yeah, befriend Minervamon. I wouldn't say we befriended her.
Minervamon came from the digital world looking for the egg. Not knowing where to start, we decide to ask Dr. Simmons for any leads. She's a government scientist that researches anything Digimon related, and she gives us a Digimon radar, which allows us to detect a lot of Digimon someplace underground. But on my way there, I ran into this thing. This is an outer dungeon, which is a challenge that once I clear, I get a free Digimon. There's a trophy for finding all of them and another one for clearing all of them, so I decided to give this one a shot. And it was pretty challenging, but in the end, I was able to get a free Repamon. Now, this is a Digimon that I wouldn't be able to evolve for a while, so instead, I decided to do the opposite.
Let's go down. Since I won't be able to go up until Agent Rank 5, we'll just go ahead and get a trophy right here, because I think I get a trophy for doing this the first time, and I haven't discovered this dude. So let's D-Digivolve to Renamon. Maiden D-Digivolution. We did it for the first time. De-digivolved, and I think the logic was sound. I'm learning, baby.
But back to our egg hunt. We make our way to the subway, and it's not just Digimon we find, the Dark Shadow is also here. And as we investigate more, we do find the place where the egg fell, but it has already hatched.
I know this place.
Agiomon was in the egg, wasn't he? Suddenly, a bad guy called Titamon shows up. Now, he's strong, but we're able to send him back through the portal he came from, except the portal is also gonna suck us in. Where did the portal take us? Well, folks, welcome to the digital world.
Title card! Kind of a sick title card, not gonna lie. The world where Digimon live. We finally made it.
Now, a lot happened once we arrived at the digital world. We met a lot of characters like these kids who go into the sewers on a dare, only to find some bad Digimon called the Titans. They seem to be a big threat to this town, so we defeat them together with Minervamon and report this to the town's mayor, Marukimon. Marukimon agrees to help us return to the human world, but to do so, we have to reach someone called Junomon. She's the only one that can open a gate. But we can't get there because the Titans have taken down the network, so we gotta go to the radio tower to fix it. We climb the whole thing to find another boss fight at the top. It's a really tough fight, but the mayor arrives just in the nick of time and...
a mighty blow! What is that? Achieve rating of excellent when attacking an enemy's weak point. I didn't even do that. That was a cinematic attack. That was scripted. What the hell?
With Marukimon arriving to help, things did get a lot easier. And once we take down Parrotmon, we also finish the story mission, unlocking
a moment's respite. Reclaim Central Tower. Yeah, that's definitely a story trophy.
With communications restored, we find out we still cannot make it to Junomon because in order to reach their temple, normally they use the train. The train is also a Digimon, by the way, but the factorial area that powers up the train is also being attacked. So we go there to restore the power, and the boss fight at the end of this area is considered to be one of the big walls in this game, and I can definitely see why. But the cool thing about Digimon Time Stranger is that if you know what you're up against, you can set up the perfect team to go up against it. And so, on our second try,
power uninterrupted. Yeah, that boss fight was definitely deserving of a trophy, man.
We made it to Junomon. She lets us know that the Titans are actually an old threat to the Digimon world. But once upon a time, a hero called Chronomon drove them away. Chronomon ended up dying but left his will inside a certain egg, from where a certain Digimon may have sprouted. Anyway, the Titans are now causing trouble in a place called the Abyss. Oh, This place is not at all what it sounds like. We meet a kind Digimon who is nursing an injured Titan, showing us that not all Titans are bad. Their kindness turns this Titan Digimon to our side, and he's the one that shows us to the boss of this area, Sharkmon, who once defeated unlocks
the Lonely Warrior. Our Titan friend stayed behind to protect the town even though there was nobody there anymore. What a hero.
The Titans are after the current, which is this world's power, and the current comes from the world tree in a place called Gear Forest. So we head there and the Titans have already corrupted it. Probably because the leader of this forest spends his days drinking and sleeping. We're doing our best to stop this war between the Titans and the Digimon because this conflict might be exactly what leads to the end of the world. And remember, our mission is still to stop the apocalypse. And while we were checking this forest, the Titans attacked Junomon's temple. Junomon is guarding a treasure that the Titans also seek, a treasure that contains the power of Chronomon.
I entrust it to you. Please, take it and flee.
We take it into a portal where Agiomon makes peace with the fact that it's a Digimon that doesn't belong in the digital world, but instead belongs by Inori's side to protect her. And that causes him to digivolve, giving us
the Great Guardian digivolve into Agioshiomon. And not gonna lie, the evolution feels like the least important thing going on right now.
a bunch of Titans followed us through the portal into the real world, and of course, we already lost a treasure. Oh, look at that! Titamon got to it first. This is a pretty cool boss fight with multiple phases. Titamon absorbs the treasure's power, but loses control over it. On our side, though, is Agiomon, the reincarnation of Chronomon. So he can probably handle this power.
Are we dead? Oh, it's the Velvet Room. Wait, does that mean we're dead?
Not exactly dead, but we did meet God, or gods, I should say. For some reason, the gods of this world like to appear as little kids. They just say we shouldn't be here, so we wake up 8 years in the future, or I guess the present. The place where we came from, where we get
Back to the real world? Don't ask me, Trophy. I'm as lost as you are.
even though we're back to the present, the world still hasn't ended, so maybe we can still stop the apocalypse. And this world is slightly different from when we were here last time, meaning our actions in the past have actually altered the future. Bit of bad news though, the Digimon lost the war against the Titans, so they now live in hiding, meaning we have to try to get the Digimon, the Titans, and the humans all to agree to a ceasefire. I'm sure that will be very easy to accomplish. We start with the Titans, who have completely taken over the Digimon world, but what better place to start than to talk to the Digimon that nursed the injured Titan back to health?
That's Shellmon? What the fuck? What the fuck? I see why you guys like this series. I see why you guys are fans of Digimon. I see it now.
She gave us wine to share with the leader of the Titans as a peace offering, who turned out to be that little dude, but he also digivolved. He's actually been wanting to negotiate, and so we get
A token of peace. So, the Titans want peace. The Digimon want peace. Wait a minute. Don't tell me the problem is the humans.
well, not this time actually, because that wine was poison. She didn't know he was the leader of the Titans now, and with that, the chances for peace are looking slimmer. The sea pollution gets worse, and we see that shadowy figure once again. We wake up in the Velvet Room because turns out Agiomon has a new power since absorbing Junomon's treasure. He can now travel back in time to alter these pivotal points in history. When the shadowy figure shows up, something happened that we should probably change, and so we get a second chance. We're able to clear everything up, no one gets poisoned, and this unlocks a big clock in the Velvet Room where both of our friends get added. It sounds like we're gonna have to gather a bunch of apostles now.
Peace on the high seas. Rewrite the Abyss area's destiny. Bro, there are how many characters left there? There are 9 characters left there, and if they're all as cool as these two, this story's gonna be so sick.
Back in the human world, Merukimon has been poisoned. There's a lot of poison going on, but we learned that we can find the antidote in the Gear Forest. The thing is, everyone in the forest has also been poisoned, so it sounds like we should just time travel and get there faster. Yep, more Titans are behind us. We defeat them with the help of the drunk forest boss, and that puts him on the clock, giving us
Breath of the Great Tree. Rewrite the Gear Force destiny, and yes, Bakusmon is gonna be a new apostle.
The story gets a bit formulaic at this point. We get to a new area, see some evolved forms of old friends, something bad happens, we time travel and fix it. So next up is the Factorial area, which has turned into some sort of coliseum. Their champion is Big Bro Bearmon, who we met earlier, but he evolved into an actual bear. So Little Bro, who has also evolved, he wants to stop Big Bro. To do so, he's training in an arena in the human world. So we beat that whole arena, defeating him at the end to convince him to come help us take down his Big Bro, winning us us another trophy.
We are the champion? My friend.
Little bro decided to head off and fight his big bro on his own, and he ends up getting killed. So once again, we travel back in time, we stop him from going alone, we work our way up the arena in the factorial area until we defeat the champion himself, unlocking
PCGT champion. We now won 2 arenas, and we've added a new apostle, the little bro. The big bro might have died. Kinda dark.
Digimon is gaining more and more control over his time powers, which is maybe making him kind of a threat. But equally as dangerous are the Digimon on my farm, who have been training this whole time behind the scenes. I have babies with 7,000 HP, and that's because every 30 minutes Mireille has been sending me a message asking me if I want to train them more. And I always said yes, until I finally got...
Oh, hard work pays off. Train Digimon on the Digifarm 30 times. We finally got it. We finally got it. Now we can use the Digifarm for real instead of farming a trophy.
No time for distractions though. War is about to go down. The Titans are invading the Digimon base and the humans are preparing something too. A big weapon that will blow up the Digimon base to contain the threat. Surrounded by both sides, Merukimon sends us to deal with the humans while he deals with the Titans. Merukimon is able to stop them by sealing the gate to the human world, but he dies in the process. As for us, we are unable to stop the humans, and this big double failure actually triggers the apocalypse again. Mission failed, but going back in time won't be so simple now. We actually lose Inori to a time distortion, and Digimon goes absolutely berserk and starts chasing after her. So when we time travel, this time we traveled alone. Wait, are we the ones controlling time travel? We go back alone this time and stick with Merukimon in his battle against the Titans. And after we push them back, we're able to get
Central Town reclaimed. Put Merukimon on that clock too, baby.
The humans still have a giant robot, but since we defeated the Titans, it wasn't deployed. So we have at least delayed the apocalypse, which means this is the best possible time to negotiate peace with the Titans. But when we get to their leader, something was wrong. Their boss was out of control. And he absolutely wrecked me. You know how this goes though. Now that we know what we're up against, we can build the team specifically to beat him, and that's when the shadow appears again, allowing us to time travel to a time before he lost control. Turns out the Titan's boss is actually a very reasonable guy, and he tells us the truth about this world. Chronomon was not an ancient hero that drove the Titans away. In the past, he learned that this entire world was controlled by a higher being. So he gathered the warrior Digimon known as the Titans and basically attacked God. They were easily defeated. The Titans, branded as lower beings in the Digimon world, and Chronomon himself ended up sealed for eternity. His resentment and rage was what pulled the strings and created this whole conflict. And that's how we learned.
Historical truths. Get the truth from Plutomon. Digimon might actually be the bad guy. Hold up.
Plutomon didn't get added to the clock, but we hit Agent Rank 7. This allows our Digimon to get Mega Evolutions, which apparently means I now gotta hide this game from my wife when I'm playing. Are we sure this is okay for children? With the Titans taken care of, it's time to rejoin Dr. Simmons and finally handle the human side of this conflict. We infiltrated the lab where the giant robot was created, hoping to find some answers. We waste way too much time looking for a single ID card to get past the door, and by the time we get to the lab, we find our friend already dead. He was being used by the humans to create various weapons, and ultimately he was fused into the giant robot. Instead of time traveling immediately though, we find the shadowy figure wandering around and decide to follow it until it reveals itself to be Digimon. The shadows we've been seeing are echoes of every time he has time traveled, trying to save Inori over and over, but he keeps failing. As for we, turns out we are... Oh! Time's rewinding, never mind. We clear the lab much faster since now we have the ID card, so we can save our friend and fight against the scientist in a mech suit. Seriously, that's not even a Digimon. We add our friend to the clock and we get...
Action figures for the win! Rescue Volcanosmon. Oh yeah, the dude loves action figures.
Time for more little kids who evolved into big scary Digimon. Lunamon became Dianamon and Coronamon became Apollomon. The sun and the moon each live in their own little world and they're about to go to war. But why? Turns out it was all a big misunderstanding, and now we're here to mediate both of them. We found out that Junomon was actually the one behind this, but she looks a little different. She puts us in jail where we find little Titamon. He's turned into a little baby. That's what you get for using time powers, my guy. Minervamon is also here, so we orchestrate a big prison break, make our way back to Junomon, and beat the darkness out of her. This huge mission just added 4 characters to our clock all at once, which unlocks
a bond restored. Holy, only 2 to go.
And if you thought the story was already crazy, this is where it gets absolute batshit. The reason why we can time travel is because God, the one who fought against Chronomon, created this main character from one of those shadows Aegiomon is leaving behind every time he time travels. Meaning, I am also kind of Chronomon in a way. I'm not an agent that investigates anomalies. My whole backstory was made up on some anime. I hallucinated the whole thing, but I'm surprisingly okay with it. Aegiomon learns that the apocalypse is actually caused by a version of him that goes insane after not being able to rescue Inori. And with this realization, we are able to convince him to move forward. But doing so is going to cause all of the shadows to disappear, and that includes us. But we're cool with that because we can fuse and become Jupitermon, and that fills out the clock completely, unlocking
the final light. Light the light clock's final light. Somehow that sentence made sense to me.
And now, together with all of the apostles, it's time to take Chronomon down and stop the apocalypse. It gets pretty crazy. All kinds of giant Digimon and fusions, kaiju battles in outer space. We break the entire world, and from this tear in the universe, we hear Inori, and we are able to pull her out of that time distortion. But breaking the laws of time was exactly what Chronomon wanted. He needed that to break out of his seal, and now we're here, at the end of the universe, not knowing what's gonna happen. But one thing's for certain, Aegiomon promises to protect Inori once again, which gets us another trophy. Every single apostle has joined us in this fight at the end of the universe, where we face off against a group of Digimon called the Evil Kings. My Lilithmon is one of them, turns out. And also, my favorite Digimon, Belphamon. I went into this game not knowing anything about Digimon whatsoever, and now I have a favorite Digimon. He's the best, look at him! So at this point, I decided to stock up on items, since it seems like we are on our final stretch. And while buying some healing items, I got Gajillionaire for spending 1 million yen on shops. Everyone eventually makes their way to Chronomon, and after a very epic battle, we join our powers, defeat the big boss, but doing so left a void that we must fill. Chronomon's plan all along was to die and be freed from the seal, leaving Aegiomon in his place to fill that void and put time back together, sending us back into a world where the gate between Digimon and human worlds never opened. A world where Aegiomon never met Inori, but where she could live happily with her family, and her brother is still alive. Oh yeah, she had a brother that died in a Digimon-related incident. I guess I forgot to mention that. Credits roll, unlocking the final story mode achievement.
To a world far, far away. Bring an end to the story. About 50 hours. Story is done. And that's only half the trophies.
We still have so much left to do, including replaying the whole game again on Mega Plus difficulty. But first, there are a lot of side missions here. One of them is to summon a bunch of legendary Digimon called the Royal Knights. Each one of them has their own issue and side quest that we need to clear. And on my way to doing one of those quests, I was surprised by...
Unrivaled strength. Defeat an enemy of ultimate or greater generation with a single digi attack. Oh, I guess that was just a matter of time.
I lost count of how many side quests I did. There are so many Royal Knights, and each one of them has 2 to 3 side quests you must complete. I spent hours chasing all of them down across the past and the present, in the Digimon world and the human world, but I eventually gathered all of them, which prompted another Royal Knight called Alphamon to show up and test our resolve. So we beat him, finally unlocking
Royal Knights Assemble! This was the longest series of side quests I think I have ever done in my life.
And we're not done yet. A lot of these side missions ended with me fighting new opponents in the Colosseum, and now that most quests are done, I'm being summoned for my final fight against Little Bro. Defeating him gives me Grand Slam for clearing every single one of those encounters. And so we can move on to another side mission that has to do with that RNG card game. Now, I've been playing and defeating every card player over the course of this game. I don't know if that's a prerequisite to unlock this final mission, but a couple of duels later, I finished the side quest and unlocked
a card of legend. Obtain a legendary card. Okay, but where is it? Blank card. A rare Jogmon card with nothing on it. Something may happen if you give it to someone familiar with cards. Well, that's something, I guess.
I later found out you could trade this card at the vendor for another card. This card specifically, I don't know, maybe it means something if you know more about Digimon. But we're almost done with our first playthrough. All that's left is a few collectibles. We start with Kuga's core dumps, which are just these babies spread throughout the human world. And after you find all of them, you wait for Dr. Simmons to send you a message unlocking Silent Envy. Then we go into the human world of the past and explore all of the same places to find all of Etamon's soul bits, returning to the Velvet Room afterwards, unlocking All Eyes on Me.
Ah, cool, a Bo Burnham reference.
The next collectible is a bit harder. We have to find these copies of Hiroko, the streamer, and they are all in the Digimon world, but they can be both in the present as well as in the past. Yeah, I definitely used the guide for this one. We get them all, go back to the Velvet Room, and unlock
Dreams or reality? All of the collectibles are done, except the outer dungeons. But more importantly, every side mission we've been doing has given us a ton of talent points. And so, we can finally unlock the final talents and get another trophy, Elite Agent, for reaching Agent rank 10. Let's go. 2 and 1, baby.
With that, we only have one more collectible left, which are the outer dungeons. I seem to be missing 5 of them according to a guide, so it really didn't take long until
the final dungeon, the In-Between Explorer. We discovered all the outer dungeons. Now we gotta beat them.
And beat them I did. From time attacks to survivals to races and other challenges. I thought I was only halfway through these dungeons when suddenly...
Problem solver. I think there are still a few outer dungeons left, but if the game says it's trophy time, who am I to question it?
And then there were only 2 trophies left before starting our Mega Plus playthrough. Both of them are about obtaining a very specific Digimon. For Aegimon's Dark form, we needed to have all of the talents unlocked, which we just did. But he also needs a crazy amount of attack and intelligence, so we're gonna put him on the Digifarm while we work on another Digimon. Chronomon Destroy Mode. After doing some research, I found out that you can get Chronomon from Butenmon. And I had recently just evolved Butenmon into Griffonmon. So it was time to bring the Griffin back down to the Armored Samurai, and now it's a 50-50 shot. One of these two will give me the trophy. Of course, I picked the wrong one. No matter, we just revert him back and then pick the correct option, which unlocks
Beyond Digivolution, the big bad Chronomon, baby.
And now all that's left is wait for our Aegiomon training to go well in the farm. So I used that time to level up my team, getting ready to tackle Mega Plus. And so 3.5 hours later, Aegiomon is finally ready to give me
Darkness Awakens, the last trophy before we have to play all of this again. Wait, he also evolves into Chronomon? Oh, I guess that makes sense, though.
And then there was only one trophy standing between me and the Platinum. It's time to play the whole game again on the maximum difficulty, Mega Plus. This doesn't just make the game harder by increasing all of the enemy stats, but it also disables the use of items during battle. But I've been preparing for this during my whole playthrough.
Bring on the apocalypse! We are back, baby! Say goodbye to the T-Rex that just fell from the sky. Easy one. Easy clap on Titamon. We are at the Digimon world already. Uh-oh. I think we finally met our match.
Parrotmon was our first big challenge. He hit like a truck, and it felt like I was barely dealing any damage. And that's when suddenly I just casually broke the game. I thought if he hits like a truck, I'm just gonna try reflecting that damage back at him by equipping some attack reflect spells.
Holy crap! He got parried harder than Justin Wong! Oh, Merukimon coming in for the kill steal. Of course.
I was so proud that I found this. I posted it on Twitter and even Bandai was shocked. And with this new strategy, the game became a walk in the park.
Volcanosmon, down!
The Reflect wasn't always super effective. Sharkmon, for instance, he took some solid damage, but he didn't just get one shot. But hey, at least I was protecting my Digimon from taking any damage. Even if sometimes it was taking these bosses down very, very slowly. Still, I felt like I had broken the game in a way. And I think it was actually very easy to make this spell not broken. There are actually 2 types of Reflect. physical, and magical. You can only have one of them at a time, so all they needed to do was give bosses a mix of those types of attacks. But in general, they do stick to one, which makes them very easy to counter. So now I had a choice to make. I either kept using reflects, or I needed to go back to the farm and grind a bunch, which isn't very fun, but would make the combat better. In the end, I made a rule for myself. I'm allowed to use reflect, but only on their big attack, because it's funny. For the rest of the battle, I would have to play honest, and not every boss has a really big broken attack, so this isn't always overpowered. But with this limitation, I did start having a lot more fun with Mega Plus difficulty.
You're going down, big bro! He doesn't die, by the way. He shows up at the end of the game again, so we don't need to feel bad about it here. We are liberating Central Town! Get out of here, Titans! We gotta punch the zombie out of Plutomon. Snap out of it, bro. GG. And that wasn't even a Digimon, bro.
And after defeating Junimon,
we made it to the end of the world. We're in the final stretch now.
Things were going great, defeating every single evil king without breaking a sweat. Sorry, Lilith. I think most bosses here are viruses and weak to holy magic, something my team happens to specialize in. So this was an absolute cruise. I even got lucky against Belphemon because Nanimon hit him with a poop dunk and he just became unmotivated. He didn't want to do anything for most of the fight. And with Belphi out of the way, it was time for the final boss fight. But if those bosses made me think Chronomon was going to be easy, I was in for a big surprise.
I have to survive another 3 attacks? GG's. GG's, this is over. Future denied is going to confuse. No, I can't survive this. There's 2 more attacks coming. Alright, this is single target. Single target. Fuck, that's not good. Black Claw. Wait, he survives. He survives. He survives. Oh my god. That was so close. Oh, lethal lance on who? Okay. Oh, lethal lance on who? We're okay! Oh, I really wants her down. You know what I should do? Attack reflect. That's what I should do. Ah! What? Just happened. Angel Shumon is alive. I have people alive in the back. I can't switch? That's not okay. It's been 45 minutes. Do I start over? No shot. What? We're in bed. Shine Gray reflects. GG's. No! Oh, I died again. None of these Digimon can revive. I'm done. I'm done. I'm stuck now. No one can actually revive. Oh my god. I need to go back. I need to go back and rebuild the team. Alright, here comes Babyface. It's a pretty fun moment. I was gonna be cooked in this phase because you cannot switch. If these Digimon on screen right now, if they go away, if they die, that's it. That's GG's. I don't love that. I don't have a heal with this character until he gets back to Marine Angemon. But he's gonna tank the Black Claw, so that's good. Go up, Mon, if you survive this. That's bad, because we don't get to play for a while. Oh, let's go. Good revive. Good revive. Oh, and the Digivolution? I could have survived the first time I did the boss. I should have just played defensively. The Digivolution revives me? I just spent another 2 hours fighting this boss for nothing. By the power of Attack Reflect, I condemn you to a lifetime of death and prison. And actually, this was his plan all along. He wanted to be defeated in the story, so we're kind of doing exactly what Chronomon wanted here. But we're still winning this. Come on. Bring your loathsome fate. Get countered, baby. Chronomon is no more. Yeah, okay, you still got to do that, I guess. Okay, no, he's already dead. He's already dead. He's already... Miss? Doesn't matter. What a way to end it. Oh, they really gonna make me wait until the end of the unskippable credits to give me my platinum? Okay, I see how it is. The pinnacle of existence. Mega Plus is done. And... the agent of perfection. All the trophies, baby. How long was that? 101 hour. I won 102 almost. That was a really long platinum, but that was also the platinum that made me a Digimon fan. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me, and if you want to see me platinum another anime game, let me know which ones in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.